But everybody on live doesn't see me.
Nope.
Let's try for the third time. Love y'all, bye.
Love you, bye. Oh my God, don't tell me this is gonna go on again. What is going on?
Nope. Nope. Huh? I wasn't playing around. There you go.
Boggy! Hello, Boggy said, yo. Daryl says, tap, tap. Logan said, my state is in a state of emergency. Yeah, they all are probably going to be. We got a lot of stuff's coming.
Alright, watch out.
Oh, man.
Here we go again, another sleepless night.
Okay, no.
I did, huh? Yeah, okay.
I just wanted to make sure.
All right.
Get out my seat, fatty.
Let's see. Daniel said, happy Friday, everyone. Gary says, howdy, NDP. Hello. Daryl says, Boggy. Gary says, Mac. Hello, everyone. Hope everyone's doing well on this cold Friday night. Lovely says hi. Hello, Lovely. John said hi. Daryl said got a pretty bad head cold today. I get it. Believe me, I get it. Hope you get to feeling better. Lovely says only here for a few minutes. All right, Lovely. Thank you for stopping in. Daryl said Lucy can't comment on your videos. Jane said, hey, family. Hello, Jane. Gary says, hello, Lucy.
Who's Luke?
Lovely. Daryl said, Jane. Lovely says, lovely Lucy says, don't know why.
Yes.
Carlos said, what's up, y'all? Pops, Justin, Carmen. Gary says, hi, Jane. Jane says, Carmen, do you like Justin's haircut?
I do. I didn't think I did, but I did.
She said that she, I don't know if you heard her or not, but she said she didn't really know, but once she saw it in person, it looked a lot better. John said, who's the lovely lady? That's Carmen, Justin's girlfriend. Jane says, hi, Daryl. Daryl said, it's set to kids. Need to change it, not set to kids. Jane said, hi, Carlo. Garrett says, I like Randy's haircut better. I do too.
Daddy, is she saying? Is Daryl saying it's set to kids?
Lovely's. He can't comment on Lovely's things because she's got it set on kids. Jane said, hi, John. Lovely said, okay, Daryl, I'll fix that. Jane said, hi, Garrett. Jane said, I love his haircut. I think it's awesome. It's amazing how him and Randy look so much alike now. Carlos says, hello, Jane. Garrett's laughing. Ice Heart said, ever confuse those Ritz and Cocoa Puffs for breakfast. Yeah, it don't matter. I'll eat either one for breakfast. Buggy says, I still can't gear a ship. I still can't hear. I believe it's supposed to be hear shit. Jane said, hi Gary, in case I didn't say it. Yogi Bear said, how gay is too gay? I need to know for science. If you're even thinking about it, it's probably too gay. But hey, you do you, Yogi. Yogi Bear.
Michael in there.
Yeah, but what's Yogi Bear's little buddy's name? I don't remember. But if
Is it the like the Bear Scout bear?
Yogi's the one that is the bigger one. It's Boo Boo.
Boo Boo.
It's if Boo Boo's getting a little close to the Boo Boo hole, you might better be might call it too gay. Funk Congress said no high visibility t-shirt today. That's the first for me. No, I didn't have to work. I didn't work. I don't work on Fridays unless I have to. And I didn't wear my high vis. And hey, y'all, I don't even have orange on. So yeah. Jane said they do. Buggy, what did they do? Buggy says they have this shop so loud. Cheese Crust says, Cheese Crust says, I found out I'm going to be a father. My sister told me she was pregnant last night. Well, good. And the family tree don't have many branches, so you be careful. Daryl says, I can't either, Boggy. Jane said, hit the like button, y'all. Winter says hi. Hello, Winter Morse. Ice Heart said, pork chop. Yogi Bear says he's gay. I mean, he's not gay. It's all gay. If you got to question yourself, we understand. We're here for support, Yogi. We got the band says, what do you guys do all day? Make no money. Well, actually, we put on a set of tires. And what all did we do today?
I think that's all I did.
I had to get out and go make a run. I didn't do anything I got on my list, though. But that'd be a list made for tomorrow. But we did put on a set of big old 35s on a pickup truck. And let's see. Maria says, oh my God, you're not wearing orange. Hello, Maria. Lovely said it should be fixed now. No clue, though. Boggy says, Mike, I had to take a step outside. Braden said, or got an M. Maria says, I need to wear my glasses. Chris O'Connor says, can I get a hell yeah in the background? The background's not paying no attention, Chris. They're paying no attention to you, Chris.
Oh, I was shooting autistic.
Carlos says, you're gay, Yogi, just admit it. BG's already retracted a message. Maria says, is that Justin behind you? He looks different. Yes, he got his haircut. Cheese Crust says, lol. Mr. Naughty said, hello, Stone Cold. You have a new people in the back. Yeah. That's Justin, my youngest son, and his girlfriend, Carmen. Jane said, hi, Maria. Maria says, hello, Jane. Buggy says, why are we bullying poor Yogi? Yogi just come in and said, we're not bullying him. He come in and asked something about gay. We just go on with his little words. Kyle says, do you work on old cars or new cars? We only work on what we have. We don't work on everybody else's. We do tires, but we don't work on, we're not mechanics. Jane said, hi, Chris. Maria said, Jane, did you see my message? Ice Heart said, I watched a gay porn once by accident. The girls never came. You didn't watch it by accident. You meant to watch it, and you were glued.
The whole way through.
Yeah.
You meant to watch it.
Braden's got W with some emojis on it. Maria says, I like this color combo more than orange and red. Yogi says, I'm not gay. I asked how gay is too gay. To bring light to the fact that gays think that there's no limit to gayness, which means they don't want to expect but control. Expectation, whatever that is, but control. Hey, all we're saying, Yogi, is if your people think they're gay, they're gay. We didn't. I mean, well, we did say you were, but we were just going with you, Yogi. Legit. Lee says, "Take a shit on the desk. I dare you." No, I know it's got to clean it up. John Deere said, "Hi, Mr. Knight said there's only one weak man in the back today. Strong man is not here. He left right before the live come on. Right as the live was coming on, 3 or 4 times."
Yeah.
Lovely says, "I'm about sick and tired of this of the group home and court system." I'm sorry, I'm getting behind. Wait just a second. Who said that? Lovely. I'm about sick and tired of this group home and court system. Lovely, that don't sound good. Mike says, "You need a new chair." I did. I broke mine last night and I got this one and it squeaks. I need some WD-40. Let's see. Chris O'Connor said, "I said, can I get a hell yeah in the background?"
Hey, I don't cuss, you cuss.
They can't figure out if they know how to say hell yeah.
I can't cuss. I'm gonna do it.
Now we got liar. Knee Gear said he looks like a pedophile now. Do you?
Yo, don't say that
Well,
name
you know,
again.
most people that are one can pick them out. Mike said charm. Kev says, "Do you believe in aliens?" I've got an alien friend. Jane said, "Maria, I just saw it, Maria." Mike says, "You need a new chair." I'm waiting for somebody like Mike Jr. RC to donate one to me.
I need to bring my old one up.
Reaper said, "Meow." Maria says, "Jane, do you have other social media than Facebook?" Maria said, "Yes, we believe in aliens." Chris O'Connor says, "Hello, hello, lovely Jane. Hope you are well." Mr. Nice says, "Where is the strong man who is the usually in the back eating?" He went home early, Mike, Mr. Nighty.
Hey. Everything all right?
Yeah, I lost my. I moved it and I lost my. John Deere said, "I guess everybody was too busy to come by my live stream premiere, but it's okay. What's up, everyone? I'm sorry, John Deere. I don't know when your live was,
I
but
think it was last night.
if it was last night, y'all know I was tired. I went to sleep. I'm sorry." Sophie said, "Jesus loves you." Jesus loves you too, Sophie. Mike says, "I think Kane is very little spoiled. What do you think?" I think he about got his ass whooped. He about bit me a minute ago when I took Randy's ice cream. I think he's took his personal best. I think's Randy, because he just about bit me. That kind of pissed me off. I'm gonna get a shot collar for him.
Okay, well.
Buggy said, "I swear, give Dingies a new toy and a new toy that's 13-year-old and they try to blow it up. That's kids for you." Beth said, "Kane's living his best life." I believe so. Kane is in heaven, I believe. Maria said, "There's no little Randy." No, he had to leave.
Really?
He's got Madison's on call and he's got to go home in case she's called, and he's got to take care of the kids. Jane said Kane is pathetic.
What?
Lady?
Daddy?
Lady.
She just called me Little Randy. She goes, "You're Little Randy." Excuse me?
Daryl says, "I'll be back. My head is pounding." All right, Daryl. Maria said, "I miss him." The Our World podcast. I went through the desert on a horse with no name. I've heard that one too. Maria says, "You broke what?" Oh, did you not go back and watch yesterday's live? If you did not, you missed it, because I broke my chair sitting right there. It's really worth the watch.
Didn't you move it?
I just carried it out. Minnie says, "Why am I hearing dual banjos?" I don't know. Boggy said, "Lucy, like I said." Maria said, "What happened?" "It broke." Uh-oh. It's spinning.
Yeah, let me check.
Have I lost?
Hold on, let me check.
No, I've got it over
You're
here.
good, you're good. Your computer's just having an aneurysm.
Buggy says, like I said, Maria, what happened?
Maybe.
Gage says, hi, I'm new here. Well, welcome, Gage. I thought I'd seen that name before, but welcome to the channel. Buggy says, hell yeah. Kev says, I'm addicted to cinnamon and I ate all of it. Mom's pissed, so she was going to make cinnamon rolls. Chris O'Connor says, hell yeah. They don't know how to say that. At least Justin don't. How did I just miss it? Damn, I'm that far behind. Y'all, I am way behind. Maria said, yes, I have an alien friend. Buggy says, anyways, Lucy said, I said, feel free to ask for help. John there says, why didn't you read that text? I text you, really?
Wait,
Me?
who said that? Who said that?
Annie says,
Alright.
salami or bologna? Probably salami, but either way is fine. Land says, never play Roblox. Jane said, Maria, you have to look back at last night's. Maria, I was laughing so hard I couldn't breathe. Reaper said, hello, Reaper. Guess what, bald man? What's that, Reaper? Phoenix said, if Jesus was alive today, he would have never died for the... Jane says, hey, Reaper. Maria says, Law, I will. Our world said, can you break dance? If I dance, I'll probably break. Maria said, I need to see that. Buggy Jacob, you didn't go through YouTube, filtered it. Jane said, no politics or religion discussed here, please. Maria says, I'll make a whole video about it and make everyone laugh. Yes, I thought about you when after I did it. That'd be a good one for you. Memory says, hi, everyone. Hello, Memory. John Deere says, be right back. YouTube says, up, boss. I'm working through the night so we don't have to work Sunday. All the walls are up, so I'm framing the room. Give me a call when you get a chance, all right? I'll call you here in just a minute. You stay right there. Memory says, are you all ready for the storm? As ready as I'm ever going to get. Maria says, do you know my last video got over 8,000 views? I didn't look, but I think that's awesome. Like I said, I know that it's your channel and everything, but I think it's cool that it just helps our name get out there. I think it's awesome. Super Kelly says, you remind me of a teacher I had in middle school. Great man. Are y'all getting the storm where you're at? Not yet.
Tomorrow.
It'll probably be here tomorrow.
Oh, daddy.
Yeah.
I showed her the video of you breaking the chair and falling back. She's crying.
Oh. Brenda said, how do you feel after being so famous? I don't think I'm famous, but I'll be honest with you. I think it's pretty cool that people want to even come in here and talk. I can't even keep up with chat tonight. This is awesome. Chris said, night from hospital in Ireland. Bless you all in USA. Stay safe. Thank you, Chris. I hope all is well. Boggy says, okay, wait a minute. I don't believe in shock collars. Oh, I wasn't going to put one on you, Boggy. Mike says, I've never owned a shock collar, just to let you know that. Mike said, I didn't get a notification, John Deere, and I do have my notifications set for all. Jane said, Chris, I hope all is well. Cooper said, hi. Cooper, hello, Cooper. Jane says, hi, Mike. Why is my TV not doing, my computer not doing right? How do you refresh? Up here?
Top left, yep. You're not going to be able to read comments. You're going to reset your comments, though.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Give me a second, everybody. I'm trying to get my computer to go in. I'll try to get caught up just a second. Oh, man, I hope that didn't just wipe everything out.
Oh, you guys got a storm back here.
Come on now. There we go. All right, let's see where I'm at.
Boggy says, well, it wouldn't be the first time I would have worn a shock collar, unfortunately. You don't have to know about the sexual activities.
Here it is. Long says I didn't. Okay. Cooper says hi, Mike. Solicit. See, it's still doing it. I don't know why my computer's doing it. Have a blessed day, and remember that you are a child of God and you matter. Thank you, Celeste. I think it is. I may be saying it wrong. Maria said, Timu, who cut your hair? The lady that's cut it for years, Janelle.
No, I couldn't.
Horn by a man says, you have a great family. Well, thank you. Cooper says, my grandpa passed away yesterday and his favorite band was Rolling Stones and his favorite song by them was I Get No Satisfaction. I get no satisfaction. Spooky says, comfy dog. Yeah. Maria said, apologies for the chair. Lucky Rabbit said, somebody farted in my mashed potatoes and I'm mad. Jane said, I'm sorry for your loss, Cooper. Boggy says, the two Jay-Z that came with this Supra as maxed out RPMs is about 6 minutes and it has yet to blow. Maria says, Jane says, hi, Horn by. Maria says, do you have Instagram? Flo Swan Team says, it's good to be Santa. Okay. It's good to be the Santa. Jane says, I'll email you, Maria. Maria said, okay. Lovely says, yeah, it's just rough because he can't keep my dad in prison and I think they should because he killed my mom. And then he gets out, he's going to fight for custody for me.
You're going to have to unplug in and use the plug-in to plug.
There you go.
I don't think she was understanding. You're going to have to hit like cancel or something on the computer when she closes
it up. Reaper says, I'm finished the stain. Awesome. Mike says, Annie, baloney in my baloney has a first name. It's OSCAR. Jane said, Reaper, I thought you were going to say twins, Reaper. Roscoe said, what's up, guys? Finally Friday, got some time off away from the Gen Z. These boys got all the expensive tools, don't know what to do with them. God bless. Jane said, hi, Roscoe. Boggy said, Lucy, I can guarantee you us going to fail immediately no matter how expensive his lawyer is. He's a murderer.
Who?
That's what Boggy was saying about her daddy. Albert said AIW with a house. John Deere said everybody said they'll watch my live stream today. I guess they didn't have time to make me sad. Nobody except Joe watched. Oh well, let's have a great day till I was having a good day till now. I'm sorry, John Deere. All of our apologies. But Albert said SISK1P. Carlos says, I'm back, y'all. I had a great. How did I just miss it? See, I move it just a little bit and it damn takes off. I hate it when it does that. Albert said, I don't know what these words are. Maria said, Justin, don't move. I'll draw you and add you to your family tree drawing. Mike says, hi, Jane. Maria says, did you show him the drawing I made about you? No, Maria, I never showed it to him. Maria says, yes, you are famous. Albert's doing waving, crying and waving. Jane says, how you doing, Mike? Carlos says, hello, Mike. John said, I'm sad. I might cry. I'll be back. All right, be careful, John Deere. Mike says, good morning, Carlo. Mikey says, well, I wouldn't be the first time I would have worn a shock collar, unfortunately. Justin said, hi. Boggy said, well, this is personal torment for the sister, not my kids. Jane said, Boggy, you and Reaper running in the same crowd, shock collar and handcuffs. Mike said, hey, Justin and Carmen. Boggy said, hell no, Jane. David Workman said, get your firewood, boys. Yes, I do. I got my firewood going. Jane said, Boggy, no skinwalkers in your woods? Boggy said, nope. Maria said, I'm so tired of the exams. I bet so. Boggy says, get skeletons in the closet, though, apparently. Rumple says, hello, Pops. Hello, Rumple. Jane said, how much longer for exams, Maria? Carlos says, just call me Poop Poop Boys. Ryan said, 2 more years of Diddy is free. Rumple said, hello, Jane. Maria said, I'll finish them on Wednesday, but my new exams will start 2:10. Rumple said, Long Wrench, hello. Justin, hello. Reaper says, no, all the skinwalkers are with me. Rumble says, Maria, hello. Oh, let me translate. Somebody's here that let me, probably Reem. Nope. Mohammed said, hello, how are you? I'm doing fine, hope you are. Rumple said, John Deere, hello. Philly says, anyone know a good series to start watching? Justin watches a bunch of series.
What?
Maria, he's not paying no attention though.
I don't watch.
Maria says, hello, Rumple. Rumple said, Rumple. Rumple says, Reaper, hello. Rumple says, Philly, last one I liked was Afterlife. It's a bit old. Boggy says, literally, there are plastic skeletons in my closet. Oh, Lord. Rumble said, Boggy, hello. Rumble said, hello, Rumble. Messing with me, ain't you?
What do you say?
Rumple said, hello, Rumple. Jane said, hi, Rumple. John Deere said, I'm about done with YouTube doing live premieres and nobody shows up. I'm just about done with everybody else getting attention and it seems sorry I'm not having a good day. Sorry. John Deere, listen, buddy, I said I was sorry. I'm sorry nobody come in. We try to. We all try to have lives. I'm sorry you feel that way, but you really shouldn't take it so hard. It takes a while to build everything up, buddy. Boggy says, I break. Muhammad said, is that a girl or is that girl a girl or not?
Nah, it's a man.
That depends on what girl you're talking about. The only girl in here, yes, is a girl. Boggy said, yes, that's a woman. Maria said, Muhammad, you don't have eyes? Boggy said, amen, Maria. Anthony says, I haven't seen you in a while. How have you been? I just got out of jail. I've been doing good. I'm glad you're out of jail. JH said hi. Jane said hi, Anthony. JH said, I see you saw my comment last night. Thanks for the chat. Also, I see the chair is welded for the 3rd time. Nope, this is actually a different chair, but I was going to weld it today. I'm hoping I get to it tomorrow. I will work on it. This is a different chair. Jane said, hi, JH. Rumple said, clear all the trees, Pops, or still to go. We still got a lot to go. I didn't even get out there and do any today. Armando said, please. Maria says, why you decide to wear a different color? Some people just don't like me being happy and want me to wear the color I like, so I just got another shirt. I think I'm gonna go buy all kinds of different colors and just quit wearing it. I'm just gonna wear all kinds of different colors. Kelly says hi. Boggy said, Justin, looks like that one girl from Need for Speed. Muhammad's laughing and Rumple said, Maria, you read Arabic or you are Iraq. You say, right? Yes, she does. She actually takes bits of our stuff and puts it over there and puts it in Arabic. I hope I said that right. Muhammad said, beautiful girl. And let's see. Boggy says, we are afraid of the women race. Ryan says, hello, good people. Happy Friday. Well, hello, Ryan. Jay said, hey, Randy, and what's her name again? Cameron. What?
No, it's not Cameron. You had it right.
Carmen. Jackass over here trying to get me in trouble. Maria said, yes, I write and read both Arabic and English. Buggy said, sorry, pal, her boy toy is right beside her to have no luck. Jane said, Ryan. Rumble said, oh my God, Pop's not in orange. Maria said, huh? What changed you? I don't know, just so many people just talking about only, it seems like everybody wants something different, so I figured I'd go get another shirt, or 5 or 12. Jane says,
you put on the orange one today.
also I needed to do clothes. Jane said, Boggy, you should be afraid of women race. Maria said, you were obsessed about orange. I just like orange. Steady says, hello, if you could be a car, any year, what would it be? A 1969 Camaro Z28.
What?
Wallen W7K says, on payroll. Eric says, hi. Boggy says, God damn, Pops, you dug me a hole. What'd I do?
What year is Super?
Maria says, I only left for a few days and now you quit wearing orange. Muhammad said, what's the girl's name?
Cameron.
No.
Carmen?
There we go.
Like car? Man?
Yep.
Spell it for me.
Huh?
No. Stop messing him up. It's Karen then. I mean, men. I'm spelling her name wrong.
I just said that.
JH says, I got elbow in the cheek today in basketball game at my school. Hurts, it probably will bruise, but yeah, we lost by 24-30. Sorry about that, JH. Better luck next time. Jane said, Maria, he'll probably wear orange again. He had the laundry to do. Boggy said, Jane, yeah, they are scary creatures. They make me mow the lawn and do the dishes. If that's all you got to do, you got it made. The work's easy. It's the pressure that they put you in that really hurts. Jane said, Boggy, do you dust and vacuum? Boggy says, yes. Wallen, never done why never done projects? Because a project is truly never done. Like I said before, if you got one, you do finish it, and then next week you may decide you want a different stripe on it, want a different color. There's always something changing. It's not the project, it's the person. Muhammad said, say it again. Maria said, so you decide to not wear orange just because some people told you not to wear it. I was screaming about this for several months and you didn't even try to change it. Oh, was you saying something? I pay no attention to bitching.
Careful.
JH says, hi, car, man, lol.
Men.
It's man, M-A-N. That's
No.
what he put.
No.
That's what he put.
It's men.
It's men, M-E-N. It's car, men, like more than one man in one car. Or men. Sorry. Rumble says, get a 69 Dodge Charger, Pops. It's a sweet car. I'd like to have a 69 Dodge Charger. Joe Bird said, hey, Pops. Maria said, the car has men. Boggy said,
Because you corrected me when I was right.
Boggy says, she don't even know her own name.
Exactly.
Maria said, that's her name? Yep. What did you say, Biscuit?
Biscuit eater. It's a biscuit eater.
Biscuit, that's not funny. Not in this life. JH says, thank you, Pops. Hello, Randy. Hello, JH. Maria says, if people don't call me by my name every day, I'd probably forget it. I know. You know, those fish memory, they rough.
Cameron.
Boggy says, I know that depression, Pops. I live with the smallest. I know what you mean. Muhammad, Buggy says, what did you say, Muhammad?
What you say?
He said, tell that girl to get off her ass. Laughing. Buggy says, and most angry women in the world. Wobble said, on payroll projects, just asking, don't mind. No, we don't have payroll. We don't pay people here. We just enjoy life. Buggy says, man, car mine, men. Layla said, where's little Randy? He had to go home and watch his kids. Maria says, you'll get yourself canceled. How will I get myself canceled? Buggy said, she related to Ben Carmike. John Deere says, it ain't too many people we know tonight on where is everybody. They're probably out there looking for your live premiere to be on, man. They're probably still searching. Jake says, car buying and instead of car. I think somebody's messing with me. Joe Bird said, hey, Jacob, Buggy says, car has a man is valid, men. Joe Bird said, I'm still working on the C20. Jane said, hi, Gabe. Good God, y'all got to talking quick. Jake says, that's the puppy's name. Kane is the dog's name. Joe Bird said, hey, Jane. Rumple said, Joe Bird, hello. Dale said, via ball man. Joe Bird said, hey, Rumple. Dale said, stay away from Greenland, please.
Look at this.
Oh, good God. How did it go that damn quick? See, 86. Oh, I'm behind. 86 said y'all should eat a bunch of mushrooms and do burnouts. I'll do the burnouts because we ain't eating no damn mushrooms. John there said, everybody, no politics, please. Buggy says, you have you had it right the first time. Rich said, hello, Rich. Trevor said, what's up, buddy? How are you? I'm doing well. Hope you are, Trevor. John Deere said, Joe, I'm glad you come to my live stream when nobody else did. Thank you. Jane said, hi, Trevor. Dale says, that is not polite. It's a fact. Trevor said, hi, John Deere. What's up? A7's got Highwood things. Joe Bird said, welcome, Jacob. Blood King says, dang, buddy, if you were a cake, I'd have a diabetes because you look sweet. Well, thank you. Maria said, let's cancel Randy because he changed his shirt color for no reason. Carlos said, everybody only poo-poo talk, okay? Seth says, hi. What in God's name is this? Oh. If he keeps saying it, Madison, just delete him.
What is he saying?
He's trying to make me say something.
Bad boy.
Yeah.
Bad boy.
Let's see, A7 said, nice family, hope a great life. Oh yeah. Maria says, go wear your orange shirt. Nope.
Woman.
Never again will I wear orange. It's all your fault.
That's all Get that stretch said, yeah.
Let me catch it out. And let's see, here it is. See this mess when they damn deleted it, it screws my whole chat up. I wish it would just take it away. Let's see, Wolin W7K says they are watching you. Bye. Be careful. Boggy says, Justin, we're calling your girlfriend Carmine now. Rumpel says, big boys, hello. Maria said, this shirt makes you more bald. I don't think this shirt makes me more bald. The razor does, though. Lady said, let's not cancel Randy and Maria. Come on now. I think she's just making a joke. Maria said, no. Brent said, what's up, Randy? Well, hello, Brent. Joe Bird said, hey, Layla. A7 says, I hope I was handsome dog this moment. Yeah, boy. Okay. Carlos said, what's up, Rumple? Layla said, hey, Joe. John Deere says, I'm going to stay positive and believe my live stream go better tomorrow. We hope so. Always think positive. You get negative, you get really down on your feelings, and stay positive, buddy. Jane said, hi, Layla. Maria said, oh my God, I just realized that we're wearing the same colors. Layla says, hi, Jane. Trevor said, hi, Jake. Maria says, I'm wearing a gray jacket. Jane says, Maria, I called it Pops has to do laundry.
Come here. Leave up here.
Dr. Ball says, I got the flowers. Well, where is the chair? Where is the chair buried? It's just right outside. It'll be back. Let's see. Charlotte says, are you a human being, guys? Well, some of us are. A couple of us are aliens. Trevor says, hi, Janelle. Where did y'all see Janelle at? Sato said, yo, what's up? Trevor said, hi. Maria says, why? Maria says, orange is beautiful. Dang, you argued about it all the time. Why you think it now? Rich says, they are calling for 18 to 24 inches of snow here Sunday through Monday. I haven't even watched the latest. I don't know what they're calling for now. I don't pay attention because I think they're liars. Jane said, hi, doctor. We're going to try to bring the chair back to life one more time. 87's laughing. John Deere says, hi, everyone. Adam said, what's up, family? Hello, Adam. Jane said, hi, Rich. Good God almighty.
What? Are you
I cannot keep up.
You want me to read?
22 and 37. Let's see. Hi, everybody. Adam said, what's up, family? Hello, Adam. Jane said, hi, Rich. Trevor says, what's up, John Deere? How are you? Jane said, hi, Adam. How was your leg? Randy says, oh, why, hello, you my filthy animals. Hello, Randy. James says, where are you guys from? Denton, North Carolina. Rich says, hi, James. Maria says, hey, little Randy. The ex-green X-man said, hi. Maddie said, ooh, Randall's here. I told you shouldn't come on. You should have just stayed. Maria said, tell him to change his shirt. Adam says, hello, Randy. Hello, Justin. Hello, Justin's pillow. Maria says, let him wear orange.
Let it snow.
Let's see, Randy says, hey, Maria, John Deere says, I'm doing good, except nobody came to my live premiere except Joe. I am so sad. I am so sorry. Nobody came to my premiere. I am sorry. Maria says, broken heart. Randy says, hello, Adam. Layla says, hello, little Randy. And who's the animal? That's,
Carmen.
I keep wanting to say 7. That's Kane, our new dog, Great Dane. Jane said, hi, R3. Gabe says, bro, sounds so American. There's probably a good reason. Adam said, Randy. Jane. James says, are you guys from Georgia? No, Denton, North Carolina. Randy says, hey, Layla, the redhead girl on the couch is Carmen, Justin's girlfriend. Adam said, it's -4 right now in my area. Good Lord. Randy says, hey, Jane, Uncle says, it doesn't matter. You shouldn't even ask those questions. Randy says, be careful not to break this chair. Randy says, get farther behind, man. I am, and now these stupid damn things are being, what are these people saying? Oh, damn. If you're not saying bad, leave it. Good God, it's messing me up. What is this? Go farther behind. I'm getting farther behind. I am. Layla says, hello, little Randy. Maria said, Layla, where are you from? Where's that? Scott says, hi. Hello. Randy says, hey, Scott. John Deere says, somebody pray for snow away from my area. I hate snow and the cold weather. I'm with you, John Deere. I can't stand it. Maria says, Carmen and Justin, you both look alike. They say that people in love start looking like each other.
Was bald.
Randy says they just keep sending 100 over and over. Well, maybe it will go to the account. Hey, wait a minute. I might be caught up. Wait a minute. Let's see. What is this? JK says, are you a Led Zeppelin fan? I like their music. It don't bother me. Trevor said, please don't use foul language, and that's a live stream. Please, guys who are in the chat, who use foul language? Me? 4G can cords got here speak fire 100. Jane said, hi, J. Kel. Mattis says, wish it was a real 100. Yeah, me too. Randy said, nerds. Jane said, right, Maddie. Rumpel said, Maria. Oh, I heard that about pet and owners. There are even YouTube videos about it. Yeah, I've seen them. That looks pretty wild. A jar of 500 bees says repent. Maria says, I hope next week I'll be able to go to the north and see the snow. Hey, if you do, take some pictures. We'd like to see it. Boggy says, that Viper is scary fun, by the way. Awesome. 21 people, 39 thumbs up. Awesome. Thank y'all. I finally got caught up. I can take a swallow drink.
You want me to read for a minute?
No, I got it. Let's see. Maria said, whoop, I just said that. Boggy said, yep. Carlos said, and they call it puppy love. Maria says, when I forget, God, here we go again.
What?
They just take off. I mean, I think it's awesome, but Maria says, when I finish my exams, Trevor says, no people who are in the chat. Randy's sending a bunch of shit. A lot of fools. Maria says, Randy, when was the last exam you took? If you're talking to me, good God. Well, never mind. I just took one the other day for my safety class. A Google user YouTube says, hi, hello. Madison sent a picture of Randy. Lord says, I'm on the toilet. Make sure you flush and leave a quarter. Sparta says, American flag. I am Hunter Biden. Oh, I'd like to get hold of your laptop and then show everybody what you do. JK says, what's the cute doll's name? Randy says, Maria, I took a lot of exams last year in the engineering class. Jane said, Lord, we don't care. JK says, dog. Kane. Madison sent happy poop for 10 joules and done it twice. Randy's got, I don't even know what that picture is. I think it's the dog. Hey, that's Kane. Madison sent some more jewels. Maria says, okay, I'll take some pics and post it on the Instagram. Layla says, little Randy, you sent a lot of birds and Rio goes crazy. Yeah. Jane says, JKL, it's Kane. Randy said, Layla, I'm magic. Maria said, let the man read. Layla says, I know, little Randy. Madison said, we're giving him more to read. They're trying to get me behind. Barry says, on the toilet, like I said, make sure y'all flush and leave a quarter. Randy said, we are helping the YouTube algorithm. Maria says, you're lucky then. You are able to read. And you're able to read. I'm trying. Cool. Says, banana. Randy says, Maria, we don't have to take lots of tests on the railroad. Sparta says, finish the second time, thank you. Rumble says, Hunter Biden's laptop, laughing. Randy said, look, it's Uranus. Madison's sending, I don't really know what that is, but it's funny. Joe the Scommode, this is boot ticking. Facial, I don't know what that means. Barry says, finished my medical certification yesterday. Awesome, Barry. Proud of you. Jane said, oh my God, Pops, I'm going to have to block Maddie and Randy. Maddie said, never. Randy said, Jane, I'll just type on NDP. Mattis said, haha, you can't, Jane. Rumble says, Jane can do it. Jane said, hi, Barry, what does that mean? John Deere said, she's got 2 puppies in her lap. Randy says, I heard I can rage bait this man. And Barry's, I will delete your ass.
Wait, what happened?
Randy says, hey, I heard I can rage bait this man. Barry says, MD medical exam. That's awesome. Replica Prop says, hi, hello. Jane says, oh my God, R3, you rage bait almost as good as Olivia does. Layla says, little Randy, I heard he hates rage baiting. No, I do. I absolutely can't stand it. Molester says, do you read everything? I try to. If it's nasty or something, somebody will delete it. Mattis said, did someone say crash part? Metal said, Daryl says, hey all, I'm changing tonight's video to a regular video. Gonna crash early. I do understand, Daryl. You know I did that last night. I hope you feel better. T Gunner said, bro, have you taken a poop? I did just a minute ago. I even wiped.
You sure?
Randy said, yeah, because it was running. Randy said, yeah, he does, Layla. He messes with me when I was doing tires. Randy says, understand, Daryl. Rumple says, Metal Arts, hello. T Gunner said, bro, I think you would feel better if you just took a poo. Who said I didn't feel good? Joe Bird said, okay, Metal. Randy says, Jane, I know what buttons to push. Long live the King's Cobra says, what in Western Virginia is this? Jane said, R3, yes you do. Layla said, little Randy, let's not rage bait him. Scary Fairies got their flags up and they're letting everybody know. Layla says, okay, Daryl, thanks for the heads up. John Deere says, I gotta see something. If I got just a minute, if this stupid thing will not mess me up.
What?
December 1st, 2025. They coming in and probably try to start some trouble. Heads up, John Deere says, hey Joe, hit the like button and on my new song today, please. Randy said, Jane, he was really messing with me today doing tires. Joe Bird said, I will, Jacob. He come in a shitty mood. I want y'all to know that. So I didn't just rage bait him. I got him in a better mood. Joe Bird said, I will, Jacob. Jane said, Justin, was your mom mad about your haircut? She hasn't seen it yet. Mattis said, he would never do that, Randy. John Deere said, no politics or religion, people, please. Scale of Justice says, hello from Lake Forest, California. Well, hello, Justin, fine Lake Forest, California. Let me, I'll write it down because I know he's not wanting to get up right now. Lake. We will put a pin in for the world map for you. Thank you for stopping in. Nickel Pony said, hey Pops, I always wondered what a pilot reactions would look like if a Jake handle broke after watching the replay of your chair mishap last night. Now I know. He said, thank you, Nickel Pony. I about popped my pants out right there. Joe Bird said, I already did, Jacob. Jane said, hey, Nickel. Randy said, Mattis, be on my team, you heifer. Joe Watkins says, hi. Mattis said, Lord, make me. Joe Bird said, hey, Nickel. Randy says, hey, Nickel. Nickel Pony says, hey, Miss Jane. Or he's actually waving. Joey says, tell your kids to be quiet. Nickel Pony says, hey, Mr. Unbreakable. Joey says, what are those your kids behind you? The one that's laying down is my kid. The one that's sitting down with the 2 dogs in her lap is his girlfriend. Jane says, hi, California. Joey says, your kids steal your credit card. Nope.
I would like to.
Nope. My kids get their ass busted. Layla said, Joey won. John Deere said, thank you, Randy. You're a good guy. That thanked me, get me in a better mood. Joey said, someone steal your credit card and someone actually steal it? No. Scales of Justice says, hello, Jane. Layla says, Joey. That is his son and his son's girlfriend behind him. Joey says, you better look behind you. 16 people, 42 thumbs up. Thank y'all very much. Huh?
I was making sure she gave you a thumbs up. She doesn't.
Nickel Pony say, John Deere, your music is awesome, bud. Jane said, Scales, we're going to get hammered over on this side of the U.S. Ice and snow. Got any room out west? If we are, let's all get on a plane and go to it. What is this now? Let's see. Trez says, it says my love now. Why is that chair so loud? I guess because I got a big ass in it. Joe Bird said, Jane, same here. Jane said, Justin, I'm going to say it again. Love your haircut. Mattis said, flights are canceled. Oh, shit. Didn't even think about that. I don't think I got anything up here to quieten it down. Sorry. Jane says, Gabe, where are you? My love's laughing. Joe Bird says, Tennessee, Jane. Because he's the only 10 we see in here. Get him up. Let's see. John Deere says, thank you, Nickel Pony. Mattis says, he be all right.
Just slide out.
No.
It's too heavy for you to pick up.
You're such a
Jane said, oh, Gabe, come to Ohio. We're supposed to get snow only.
Oh my God. But
I have no idea what the weather's calling for here. They keep changing it. So I quit listening to it. And I've not had time to be on my phone too much today. Let's see. Mattis said, Justin, could you move? You're making King uncomfortable. Jane says, Lord, Matty. Randy says, I make Justin uncomfortable. Joe Bird said, I'm good. Jane?
Bruh.
Lord. Randy says, I applaud Justin for the job today. Job title was Grinder. Jane said, looks like King is pushing him off the couch.
Yeah.
It's a fat little thing.
He knows what he's doing.
He said this is his guy.
God, there his nose are up to my nose.
His nose are from here.
Let's see, Maria says, I'm back. Well, welcome back. Hit that thumbs up again. 15 people, 43 thumbs up. Mattis said, he said, I'll get my spot one way or another. Yep. Maria says, why you didn't change your shirt? Heck, I just got caught up. What are you talking about? Jane said, Pop sounds like Squeaky Bed Springs. Randy says, if the chair a squeak, don't come a knocking. Nickel Pony says, you're welcome, JD. Got some chili boiling on the stove. Be right back. Man, I like to have some chili. We bought some stuff the other day for somebody to make some chili, and we didn't. Maria says, I'll take my like. Mattis says, you going to break that chair too? Maria says, oh no. Rumpel says, that chair sounds you. Maria says, don't break the chair. Maria's laughing again. Maria said, stop. Jane said, Maria, he needs to do laundry. He doesn't want to put stinky shirt on. Randy said, just gonna be a new floor soon. Justin gonna be in the floor soon.
Nah.
Rumble says, chair needs WD-40. Yes, it does.
Yeah, you can act like that. Yeah. Ouch.
16 people, 45 thumbs up, and it's only 7 o'clock. Let's see what we got here. Toby Price says, I'm higher than a giraffe's ass. Well, welcome to the atmosphere. It's kind of shitty in here. Jane said, hi, Toby. Randy says that, well, it changed it to then. I don't know what he said. John Deere says, you know you got a girl in bed when you squeak, when you hear squeaking? If you don't, we don't need to discuss it. Toby says, I left my lighter in the refrigerator. Well, the light will be on as soon as you open the door. We'll leave the light on for you. Rumble said it's almost 6 here in the AM, so I gotta go. Later, people. See you, Gator. See you, Rumble. Thanks for stopping in. Enjoyed our chat. Randy said, Rumples. Madison said, bye, Rumple. Jane said, take care, Rumple. Have a great day.
Ouch.
Toby Price says, can we tell dark jokes? Just be careful because some dark jokes offend people. I don't care, but go for it. We'll see. Be careful though, because some people, if it get too dark, you might get deleted or blocked. Rumple says, Randy, Madison, Jane, everyone later, thank you, or TC. Randy said, somehow Leda has stayed ahead of me in the leaderboard. Kind of feels wrong. Randy's not first. Jane says, Rumple works on Saturday, question mark. Madison is number 1. She said, you're a loser. Jane says, my God. Toby Price says, how does a terrorist feel their... wait a minute. Something just come up, blocked me from seeing it. It must have been real dark. How does a terrorist feed their children? Here comes the airplane. Nickel Pony said, that squeak reminds me of Forrest Gump, Mom carrying about his education. Fifth River Rap says, Thomas Jefferson once shot a man in the White House lawn for treason. Jane said, tell Tony that one didn't work the last time. Randy says, this is BS. I'm going to tell inappropriate jokes. Maria says, Jane. 21 people, 45 thumbs up. S. Ladd says, the two on the couch are trying to get frisky. Maria says, you should see the pic I sent. Toby Price says, whoever said white men can't jump hasn't seen 9/11. They just wasn't able to live to tell about it. DG said, would you rather have your body but the brain of Stephen Hawkins or Stephen Hawkins' body and your brain? I'll take my brain and my body. It's my body, my choice. S. Ladd said Joe Dirt and his sister. Randy says, did you know a pigeon dies after sex? No, I know where this is going. Jane said, Maria, oh my God, is that you? Maria said, Jane, disappointed.
What?
Maria said, yes.
Daddy,
Huh?
did you know Carmen hasn't seen the video of like the bird saying Becky let me smash?
Hell, I don't think I have.
What? Randy used to play it for us all the time, like Becky let me smash.
I don't remember. Topper says, what's the difference between a boner and a Lambo? I don't have a Lambo. Maria says, my body, my choice, question mark. Staying off the grid says, greetings, Mr. Homosexual. How you doing, Mr. Homosexual? Madison says, number 2. Uh-oh, somebody done knock Madison off of number 1. Jane said, Maria, beautiful. "26 people, 46 thumbs up, and everybody took a nap at once." Let me wake everybody up. Oh, Lordy. Let's see. Toby Price said, what's a terrorist's favorite drink? It's a double Manhattan. Jay said, hey, Pops, Maria isn't a man. I didn't say she was. Did I? Randy says, oh my God, I love that video. Maria says, thank you, Jane. You're beautiful too. Randy says, not even top 3. Boy, you really been knocked down. Maria said, the sexiest grandma I've ever seen. Jane says, thank you, Maria. Boggy says, he loves this day. Madison said, have been talking too much. LOL. Jane said, lol. Liability says, that's third wheeling is going crazy. Madison said, at least I'm not 4th. Jane said, lol, Pops needs to wake up. What we got here? True 4242 says hi. Maria says he probably thinks that I'm a 70-year-old man, bald and living in his mom's basement. Oh, I know where y'all going with this. There's no telling. We have no idea. Randy says, Madison, at least I don't have an ugly husband. Madison, at least I don't have an ugly husband. Liability says, let them be young. They just want to practice having babies. Maria says, I'm just a regular woman. Hunter says, America is a white country. Okay. Jane, it sounds like after the storm it's going to be. Jane says, you guys always say you don't know what Maria looks like. She could be a man. She could be. We don't know. We just like talking junk and making people wonder about her. T. Gunner says, hey, bro, wouldn't you feel better if you cleaned out your colon? I don't know. Never had it cleaned out.
Yeah,
they didn't clean it out. They just went up in it. Boggy says, the hell do I do you hurt every... Good God, what kind of letter? Did you just throw a bunch of words in there for me, Boggy? The hell I do you hurt everywhere you did like bike. 8 can't finish that sentence. The are children in the background. Yeah, I couldn't finish it either. Joe Bird said, hey, Buggy. Richard said, my wife's boyfriend loves watching you. Toby says, when Farrah Fawcett died, she asked God to keep the children safe. 4 hours later, Michael Jackson died. I hear you. A Ramo says, I got some Cocoa Puffs right here, too. There you go. Randy says, Madison 4th, so yay. Madison sent clapping seals for 250 Jules. Joe Bird said, I'm 20th, Randy. Boggy says, yo, Joe. Well, Jane, no, I just sent her pics. Dora, the Explorer, says, that girl looks wasted. Did she lose oxygen? Billy said, dude on the couch loving the troll comments. Maria says she's 100% sure that I'm a woman. Who said you sent the right picture? You could have just took that picture off the internet. Mattis says, fourth, huh? Dora says, Maria, that's a guy. They're both guys. Boggy says, the hell I do. I hurt everywhere. It's like I can't finish that sentence. Better. That's a lot better. And I felt the same way yesterday. Boggy says, get bent, Dora. Jane said, Boggy, why do you hurt everywhere? Boggy said, reasons, Jane. Dora says, I know the hair is fake. Maria said, should I send a video of them? That's up to you. Boggy says, most involving work. Nickel Pony says, gotta run, folks. Chili is ready. Stay safe and warm, everyone. See you, Nickel Pony. Thanks for stopping in. Enjoy your chili. Maria said, let's open a video call. All right. Toby said, what's the difference between an elevator and a black guy? The elevator can raise a child.
Oh.
IKEA says IKEA. Jane says, take care, Nickel. You must have cooked. Nickel smiled. IKEA says IKEA. Dora says, Jane, you are the girl sitting on the couch. Boggy says, oh no, I have a mod photo of the rat. Dora said, if so, take your shoes off. The YouTube tech team, attention. AI usage has been detected. Immediately stop your face and ban the full channel determination as is against TOS. Oh my God, they have found us out, everyone. Everybody run. Did that just happen? There's no way that just happened.
What?
Where's it at? I just lost it. Oh, that's what happened. They retracted the message. Maria said, he's just jealous of my beautiful curly hair. Lockhead says, wow. Jane says, Dora, nope. Carmen is beautiful. Something, it just moved again. Carmen is sitting on the couch. Maria said, jealousy. Lol. Japan said, God bless USA and Trump. Anyone who hates Trump can go love theirself. Also go Cowboys. Boggy says, bro, they support people, not block dumbasses. Dora says, Jane, I'm sitting on your kids. Lockhead said it's fake. I got deleted. YouTube retracted deleted the message Madison did. Lockhead said, dude, it's fake. Puppy said, what's up, boss man? Are you ready for the storm? I'm not. You know I'm Virginia. I'm just going to sit back and let it happen. Just like being raped. It don't hurt near as bad if you just let it.
Yeah, you can't say that. You can't say that. No bueno on that one, guys.
Jane said, Lord, Dora, not sure you could. One of them is 6'2". Slam said, beef stew. Animal Crossing said, what is happening? Hell, we don't know. Lockhead said, big boss. Layla said, what the heck? Why are you in trouble with YouTube? I'm not. It's bullshit. Foggy says, yeah, we figured you out fast, dumbass. Jane said, hi, Pape. Dora said, Jane, I have them in the trunk. Dora, there's only the chances of us having 2 serial killers in this live is very slim. So, wrong. DJ said hi. Japan said Carlo. Boggy said Layla. It's a pee sucking troll. Jane said Boggy. Who are you talking to? John Deere said hit the like button, guys. Yes, please. John Deere said, I just read that. Boggy says, the troll that tried to spook Pops. Toby said, if there was more life in sperm than blood, yeah. I'm not going to read that, but you're exactly right. Sam Diller said, I have no idea what you're trying to say. John Deere said, don't poke the bear, troll. Don't want him mad at you. Joking. Popeye said, laugh my ass off. Sorry. That was inappropriate. I shouldn't have said it. Layla says, oh, okay, sorry. I thought you were actually in trouble with YouTube. Japan says, the ginger on the couch is kind of hot, but has a pee-pee. Richard B says, hi, boss. Hello to you two on the couch back there. Hello, Richard B. John Deere says, hit the like button. We need one more like. Joe Bird said, hey, Richard. Popeye said, it's okay. It's okay. I got the joke, man. Japan said, hey, you're a cool guy. Well, thank you. Carlos said, what's up, Richard B? Javloso said, drums or flats? I kind of like the flats. You can tear them apart. They're easier to eat. Jane said, hi, Richard. Randy said, flats. Richard said, what's up? Oh, let's see, what have I got here?
Good Lord. That's pretty on thigh.
You guys pause on my side, babe.
You're
You know what I'm
fine.
telling you?
Alright.
Let's see, Carlos says, I'm back. Maria says, I'm thirsty. Get yourself a Pepsi. It won't help, but it tastes better. Randy said, hey, Richard and Papi. Drink says, VR or PC? Well, I like the VR, but it just makes me dizzy. So I guess we'll go with the PC. Maria says, I'm too lazy to go to the kitchen and drink water. Emerald says, can you play a song? Not right now. Carlos said, R3, sup? Randy says, hello, Carlo. Richard Walter says, another stupid video? They probably are. There'll be one in the morning. Watch it and see. Twinkle, said they. Toby Price said, I just saw a pink hedgehog sitting on a napkin singing Chicago. Chicken in the car won't go. Waltson says $25. Don't say it. Donate it. Popeye, so how's everyone doing tonight? I'm doing great, Popeye. Hope you are. Twinkle says, how are you doing on the chat and off? I'm doing well. Hope you are. Maria said, a Pepsi is in the middle of the night. Hey, Pepsi at any time. Maria says, I'm not that crazy. You want to bet? Richard B said, Joe Bird. Emerald says, whenever you can't, it's called. Okay. Joe Bird says, yeah, Maria, why not? Jane says, no Pepsi in the middle of the night, lol. Say, sometimes I just get up just to drink one. Say says, just had Popeyes. What's for dinner? We just had steak. Richard said, big boys. Joe Bird said, hey, Carlo. Richard said, Jane. Joe Bird said, hey, Jacob, got a question. Twinkle says, how do you do on a chat on and off? I'm doing well. Hope you are and everybody else. Carlos said, what's up, Joe? John Deere said, what? Richard B said, Randy. Maria says, $10,000. Send me your money. Dog said, hi. Amber Phillips said, hi. Watson said, donate 100? I'd do it. I don't believe you will. Try me and see. Popeye says, oh Lord, Maria on her Pepsi ran again and soda won't hurt nobody. Joe Bird says, do you want to play World of Tanks, Jacob? Boggy said, you won, Jane. Now we just need the photo of the idiot she plays with. Henry said, hi. Twinkle said, how do you do the chat? Jacob said, like the movie I farted. Joking. Twinkle says, like how you turn it on and off. Price says, Toby Price said, what's black and long? The line at KFC.
Oh.
John Deere said, okay, sounds good after the live stream. Henry says, wow, what are they doing back there? I don't know. I'll read in chat. Randy said, my leftovers were in the back of the truck. Yeah, I know. They're in the refrigerator. Thank you. Let's see. Joe Bird said, okay, Jacob. Said, what's your favorite movie? Who them people behind you? The one that's laying down is my youngest son. The one he's got his head in the lap is his girlfriend. Jane said, did you leave leftovers at the restaurant R3? Not this time. I got them. Well, Walson said, I'm a famous influencer and I'm about to donate $10,000. All right. Dig It says, is it Princess Bubblegum Pink or Arby's Roast Beef Brown, respectfully? I believe I'm going to tell you probably none of your business. Randy said, no, Jane, someone took them. West Side said, I'm glad to see you're a Cocoa for Cocoa Puffs. I know, right? Henry says, can I spam? I would thank you very much if you did not. Elder EDR 9871 said, I bet you listen to co-worker music. I bet I don't. Popeye say, I'm glad everyone is doing good. Boggy says, I call bullshit. Walson says, if you only say 42. Randy said, blue waffle. Boggy says, purple pineapple. Walton, you're not going to get me to say it. I don't like that. And 42 is fine. And if you want me to do something to get something, I don't. I only jump through hoops for governments.
You hear the word government, wake up.
Manuel said, buckle down, it's coming. That's what I heard. Hold on, Effie. Carlos said, everyone, this is true. Toby Price has no testicles. Sam says, I have a super bad jock itch. You know how to fix it? Scratch it. EDR says, Jesus loves you and Jesus loves you too. Randy's got his picture of himself. Walter says, I'm not going to donate. You are being mean. You were not going to donate anyway. Because I call bluff. I call BS. If you were going to donate, you would do it. You wouldn't try to make games. Do it and then I'll read in the chat. Toby says, last joke, that's what's the difference between a pizza and a Mexican? A pizza can feed a family. Garyson said hi and said hi. Popeye said, why does everyone want someone to say 42? It's childish. They're a child and they're liars. Randy said, famous influencer with no subs. Walson said, I'm leaving. Be safe. Thanks for the chat. Hey, while you're leaving, hit the like button on your way out. Sam says, I like your channel. Well, thank you, Sam Johnson. I do appreciate it. Hit the like button for me if you hadn't already. I do appreciate it. We're showing 20 people in here, 54 thumbs up. And I'm gonna tell y'all what, this is pretty awesome to be a Friday night. You can tell the weather's coming in. Everybody's at the house. Everybody's not going out to eat. Margie said, bye kid, move on. Randy said, Pape, I just want him to spell a, Walson said, thank you. Jane said, bye Walson. Randy says, our cup, and Antonio, whatever, he loves America. Maria says, you're bald. Oh, hell. Did y'all know I was bald? Did y'all? Really? Damn. Nicholas said, hey, buddy. Hello, buddy. Walson said 42. Jane said, no, it's from leave, whatever that name is. Nicholas is waving. Randy says, let the door hit you in the ass on your way out, Walson. Jane said, hi, Nicholas. Randy says, hey, Nicholas. How do you say that name there? He's wanting to be banned, but I'm not going to do it. Nicholas says, Jane, how are you? Sam Johnson's got cool glasses. Nicholas says, Randy, waving. Toby Price says, is your son going to be a dad soon? Daddish? I don't know. I hope not. Not with that one anyway. See, Anthony said he loves me and he loves America. Well, we love you too. And only me, however you want to say that name. We nothing but love for you, buddy. Boggy says, I want to go to Cheddar's. I want to go to Cheddar's. All right. Jay said, wow. Walt's banned. Yeah, he's just playing a game. Boggy said, but it's too damn cold. CC said, is that your daughter or son? That's my son. That name again I can't pronounce. It says he loves everybody in the chat and he's glad to be here. Randy says, I'm not going to give a non want what they want. Maria said, see, I'm helpful. Okay. Smurf said, Jesus is king. Boggy said, Pops is bald. I thought it was a cap. Me too. Breaking news. And Antonia loves Trump and he's glad to be here. Maria said, someone should tell me that they miss me. I don't care if it was only a few days. Maria, we always miss you. We love to have you in here and talk to you. Randy says, we miss you, Maria, with every shot so far. Boggy says, yo, Toby Marshall, Justin, by the way, Pops, we're going to get you a 2013 Mustang. James said, Maria, I can't say that I bug you between you showing up here.
I gotta get crawl out of the house.
See, Sam Johnson says, I'm building a lowrider here in Australia. It's hard to get good quality parts here. I'd love to see a picture of it. I love to see people's builds and stuff. Red, Yellow, Blue says, band tried to help Epstein mention from the child rape. Maria said, thank you. I miss your orange shirt too. Boggy says, I'm afraid of Maria. She is friends with my sister.
Get up.
Randy said, Justin's burnout vehicle just got to be a Hummer or a Jeep. Yep.
Oh my God, get up.
Jane said, Maria, we talk about you when you aren't here. When Pops broke the chair last night, we said, and Maria and Olivia we missed it. Maria said, Olivia, of course we're friends.
Oh no, you're waiting in my pocket.
Trip said, what a good dog. Yep.
It's in my pocket.
Casey says, what do you think about Trump? We don't talk politics or religion in here. John Deere says, no politics, people. Pape says, Me and Reaper have been so busy today, we got 4 Bigfoots and 6 deer. Awesome. Maria says, how many million you have in your bank account? 42. Casey said, okay. Jane says, Papa, no skinwalkers?
I'm gonna walk her out.
You leaving?
Yeah.
I guess if he's walking you out, you are. You be careful.
No, I'm trying to find milk and bread before I get back.
Good luck.
My stepdad apparently has been all over Greensboro and they can't find any.
Well, I can tell you, Denton had milk but no bread.
And I'll probably pop over there.
Alright, sit. Okay.
Don't tell her to sit.
No, she wasn't. Okay, sit.
What we got here? Toby says, I'm going to go to Hotbox, my tiny home. Thanks for the hospitality. Well, thank you for stopping in, Toby. Randy said approximately 3 million. Maria says, I have an idea. Boggy says, there is only 2 things I am petrified of and pissed off, sister and someone hitting me with my kids in the car. Jane said, take care, Toby. Randy says, bye, Carmen. Jane says, bye, Carmen. Boggy says, bye, Carmen. Jazz says, Jazzy says, just want to tell you guys that my friend Hugh is a big fan. Kane, what is that? Kane says, is that a Corso Lab mix? It's a Great Dane. Papa said, no, not today. We couldn't find any today. We're tired. Randy says, Kane is a Great Dane. Boggy says, inventor of dirt. That's Jane. Jane said, it's Kane, not Kane. Kane said, nice. It's Caney. What? Okay. All right. I'm not saying it right, evidently. Until I figure out how to say it, I'm gonna keep saying it. Mike. R-A-I-N is like rain, crane. Said nice. Maria said, why don't you give your body after you die to science so they can make research about you? Maria, I'm just a test lab. That's all I am. That's the reason I don't get sick. They are just testing me to see how much I can indulge and keep going. When I die, they're going to dismantle me part by part and see to help humanity out. Man says hello. How are you? I'm doing great. Hope you are. Little Shoe said 8 to 12 inches tomorrow for me. Jazzy says broke him. Leva said hi. Crane says it ain't got an R in it. Yes, Jane, it's. Everybody said hi. Boggy says, finally, God, I've been cracking jokes like crazy, and that's the first time I got a laugh out of you. Jane said, Lord, I didn't realize that King was asking. I was asking how to spell dog's name. Oh, my God. Oh. Wendy says, are you a Republican? We do not talk politics or religion, but you ought to be able to tell. Randy says, no one wants my body. It'll make them sick. Jane said, sorry, Kane. Maria said, yes, I'll test you. I need to do some research. Annie says, I just made elbow noodles and stewed tomatoes. Annie said, it's because we're Yankees. Nick, he hates us. Corbin says, will the ORCS of never recover from their loss to the... Okay. John Deere said, hit the like button, guys. Jane says, hi, Annie. Boggy says, good luck with that. Maria says, maybe you have 5 legs or 6 arms. You never know. Maria says, they're hidden. Annie says, hey, Jane, you'd have thought I had 5 or 6 arms when I fell last night because I was grabbing for everything. Look at there, everybody. It's 7:39. We got 19 people and 60 thumbs up. Thank y'all. This has been a busy chat, especially for Friday night, and I do appreciate everybody's coming in here. This is awesome. They're hidden. Annie says, "Hey, Jane." Maria says, "That's right."
What?
Watching you manage that book.
It's not going away. You're gonna have to give it something. It hurts.
Jonathan said hi. Hello, Jonathan. And Annie says, "Well, why do you need luck and a pleading my case? There's no need. He has said it on camera. He hates them damn Yankees." I did not. I don't hate them. Jane said hi. Jordan. Maria says, but seriously, where did you hide your hair? I told you, in the bottom of the
same place
drainage.
I did my hair.
Yeah, in the drainage. Now yours probably went to the trash can. Mine went down the drain. Jonathan said hi, and do you like fishing? Actually, I used to fish a lot. I haven't done it in a while. I wouldn't mind getting back into it, but I do not have time. I would love to, but I do not have time. I do know a man that's got a boat that might come for sale, and if it does, I may try to work out something and maybe start doing some more fishing. Andy says, "You said hate." If I said I hate, I didn't mean it, but I don't think I said I hate. I think I told the joke I've told before time and time again. I do not think I said I hate, but Jane said, "Maria, where did he hide the body chair?" Maria said, "He hates tomatoes." Annie said, "Maria, that's good to know." Jane said, "Jonathan, I like to fish." FRFS Sonny says, "Hi, hello." Maria said, "Oh my God, I didn't think about it." John Deere said, "Did you get the bag of tomatoes, Randy, for Christmas?" Yeah. And he said, "Maybe he's secretly a Yankee and that's why he hates them so much." Sonny says, "Say I cup." Maria says, "Did you hide the chair with the dead bodies?" "No, I'm going to reuse the chairs." Sonny said, "Spell." Jonathan said, "Crazy." Maria says, "Oh, how awful." Jonathan said, 1 + 1 is 3. Hudson said, "Good day, mate." Well, hello, Hudson. Jane said, "Hi, Hudson." Minnie says, "How do you rednecks celebrate Halloween?" Pumpkin. Maria says, "Rate my sense of humor." Jonathan said, 1 + 1 is 2. Jane said, 10. Maria. Jonathan says, "I meant 3. And he says, "Oh my God, quit defending yourself. You're pulling your own leg." Maria says, "Thank you, Jane." Jane said, "Jonathan, okay, stop." Ant says, "What do you call a cow? What do you call a cow an earthquake?" What do you call a cow an earthquake? Maria says, "You didn't rate it." 7. And he says, "Well, didn't actively defend the case." Jump Style said, "Milkshake." Maria said, "Fish memory." John says, "What did I do?" Jump Style said, "Milkshake." What you said, "I'm just twisting." Oh, hell. Maria said, if you were a cat, you'd be bald one. If I was a cat, I'd run out in the middle of the road to the next car to come by. Jonathan's got a frowning face. Maria says, "Did you know that?" Zach says, 1 + 1 = 11. Jump Style said, "Milkshake." Ant said, "A milkshake." Maria said, 42. Twice. Bebop God said, "What do you call a bee that can't fly?" And he said, "Oh, hell." So you admitted. No, I ain't admit nothing. Jane said, cow in earthquake is a milkshake, Pops. Oh, now I got it. I was reading and missed everything. Ha! Now I get it. That's funny. Thank you, Jane. Jonathan said, Jane, I'm sorry. I guess I'll stop, but you didn't specify what to stop. I'll just stop.
What?
Choka said hello. Maria said hello. Bebop says Kobe. Ah, shit.
What?
I got a cramp. Oh Lord. And he says, hey Jane, he admitted it. He hates me. I did not. Jonathan says, frown. Don't be frowned, Jonathan. Just, I don't know what happened. Maria says, I rate your sense of humor 6 out of 10. Then he says, I can smell the grits from here. Papa say, y'all have a good night. Thank you, Papa. You too. Maria said, your hair is 10 for 10 for sure. Jane said, hello, Annie, join the crowd. Jane says, take care, Papa. Annie says, make me a seat. I'll sit beside you. All right. John Deere said, what do you call a bee that can't fly? Bee's knees. But I said, bad joke, got him. Annie said, where did my cousin go? Maria says, heart attack? He's going to die. And Matthew says, getting old sucks. Yeah, that's the first time I've had a cramp like that in a long time. Bebop says, third leg. Maria said, his time come. Let's see. Double O said, did you hear about NASA taking... damn it.
What?
Somebody get rid of this clown. He's about to piss me off. He's messing up my... just get rid of him, Jane. Double O said, third now, did you hear about NASA talking about the planet losing gravity for 7 seconds on August 12th? I did not. Maria said, bye, Randy. See you, Maria. Ally says, hi, my daddy. How you doing? Mad says, good American boys. Jane says, Bebop, you have to say the punchline with questions. Boggy says, working also this Yankee hating business has its old man cracked up. Ethan says two. Did I miss it? If I'm missing anything, it's cause this Hebo Salabio is doing stupid shit and I couldn't get it. Ethan says hi, hello. Maria said stupid trolls. Mad says Donald John Trump is the greatest president to ever walk this earth. Thank you, and but we don't do politics. And he said that's because he hates us. Maria says Jane is a moderator. Yes. Let's see. Mad Dog said God bless you. You too. Tyler says rawr. Maria says how many eyes do you have? How many eyes do I have? I only got 2 that you can see. Mad says, oh, okay, my fault. John Deere says, hi. Andy says, see. Philip Long says, Donald Trump going to hell when he dies. And why does that bother anybody? Tyler said, what's your opinion on homosexuality? We do not discuss it. What you do at your place is entirely up to you. Ethan said, my dad can't walk for 2 months, sadly. I'm sorry, Ethan. You know, we just went through that with Randy for 3.5 months. TBB says, do you guys go to church and what type of church? We don't go to church. We are our self thing, but we do not do politics or religion. And he said, if I was to fall on my ass, he would help me. I would make sure you was okay. I'd laugh at you, yes, but I'd make sure you was okay and I'd help you up. Layla said he doesn't hate the Yankees, he just dislikes them. There, tell her, Layla, I'm so mad I can't. BRBB says hi. Tyler says well, and I answered that. Doug said hi. Hell, Satan. Buggy said, yeah, I'd laugh at you too. Philip said, what's up with the ice shit? That's the problem. It's about melted. That's all it is. I mean, you keep it long in a cup, even the styrofoam cup, the ice will melt. John Deere's got thumbs up. Maria said, will you build me a statue in the middle of the store? Sure. TRBB said, you should. It would help you guys in life. It can really make you happy. Please just try. Let's see. Explorer said, what's your feelings about gold and silver now? I don't know. I sure would like to find somebody who wanted to buy some antique silver. Toby Kroger said he is gay. Toby, we don't really talk about it in here, but if you're coming in here to come out the closet, everybody will support you. You just do you, and at your own, we don't discuss it. But thank you for trying to get help. And he said, you hate me too, Nick. Kobe says, want to know why he turned gay? We don't know. Different people, different folks, but we don't talk about it. Boggy said, I never said I hated you. I just never said I liked you. Jane said, Toby, grow up. Maria said, good night, Randy. Don't forget to brush your long hair before bed. All right, Maria, good night. And study good on your next exam. Maria's laughing and waving. Maria says, you missed one, did I? I'm sorry. Jane said, take care of Maria. Did the heaters just cut off?
Maybe. Yeah.
Oh, I hit it. Daggone, I knew something was wrong. Boggy said, see you, Mary. Maria says, I asked what would you do if I asked what will you do if one of my videos search over 100,000 views? I would be absolutely floored by it. I didn't see it if I didn't mean to miss it. But if that happened, I would think that would be awesome, Maria. Toby says he's gay again. So, like I said, Toby, we do appreciate you coming out and trying to get help. If we can help you, we will. Philip said, anyway, it's y'all watching the Super Bowl game because I'm not. Nope, we don't do football either. Riley says, what are your thoughts on the Epstein files? We don't talk about them and don't care nothing about them at all. Toby says, I like cars. Well, we like cars too. Cars, trucks, old cars, new cars, blue cars, red cars. We all like cars. Gold and Silver says, what in the West Virginia is this? Jane said, Maria, the one from last night would reach 100,000. Joe said, did you ever wonder what fish smell like before Kamala Harris learned to swim? I did not. Don't care. Quake said, hi, hello, Quakes. And he says, get a load of this guy, Pops. Can we time him out for 3 minutes? He's being mean to me. I don't know who, I think she's talking about Boggy. Jane said, Maria, I'm going to email right after this live. Maria said, okay, Jane. Jane says, Annie, who is being mean? The Sir Roman says, real me drive Jeep Wranglers.
Real men?
Well, it says real me. So I read it as it said it. Hugh said, hello, Randy. Hello, Hugh. Fred said, Jane, can you send me pics from time to time? Maybe receipts or something. I don't know. But let's talk about anything. Hugh said, hello, meet. Hello, Maria. Maria said, I would like to be in touch with you. Jane said, hi, Hugh. Hugh said, hello, Roman. John Deere said, what's up, Grandpa Vic? Hope you're having a good day. Pro said, what exactly are we all doing here? We're talking, having a great time. Maria says, you're late. You missed a lot. Hugh said, hello, Jane. Jane says, okay, Maria. Hugh says, hello, Joe. Boggy says, no, you can't time me out. Hugh says, hello, Boggy. Boggy says, yo, Hugh. Hugh says, hello, John Deere. Maria said, I'd rather talk with 60-year-old women who have hair on other than some people who don't. Jane said, oh, you want me to time Boggy out, Annie? Hugh says, Mad Lake just walked into the door, sore. Maria says, aliens. John Deere says, Hugh said, door. Boggy says, I'm a good kid in Pop's eyes. Hugh says, hello, Annie. My only tomato says you look like a very cool person. I try to be. I try to do everything I can to be a cool person. Look at there, 22 people, 65 likes. Thank y'all, that is awesome. Maria said, Justine looked so bothered after his girlfriend left. Yeah, he's not in a good, she left.
No.
Maria said, Carmen, come back and make man happy. Jane said, Maria, he's buried in his phone. That's his lifeline there. You take that phone away from him, he'd probably quit breathing. Maria said, no, tomato, he doesn't like tomatoes. I did eat a salad tonight, Maria, and guess who ate my tomato? Hugh said, he's shopping.
No.
IMK said, where's the beer? We don't drink it, but we don't knock it either. Jane said, shopping for girls? Maria said, who? Maria says, I don't believe you. Well, I did. I ate my salad. That's 2 days in a row I had a salad too. I had one yesterday. Damn.
Stop kicking that thing.
I know, right? Hugh said 6 or 8 more months, he'll be happy when she leaves. Maria said, did you take a pic? No, because I have found out whether I take a pic or not. Nobody believes me. Hugh says, you'll hear him say, dang, about time. Maria said, maybe you took it from the internet just like you said before. Unicorn Mullet said, what's the wall? The wall is for members of the channel. Everybody pays to put their name up there and help support the channel. I've got one on the wall and then I got one out at the street. It's what we do for our members. We put their name up there. Some people like it just for like advertisement for their channel. And we do, like I said, we do the same thing out at the road. Maria said, maybe take a video next time. Friends don't call friends liars. So
Friends don't lie.
Layla said hi. Maria said, so we'll believe you. I should be able to say it. If you told me something, I would believe it. It's because I'm your friend. Hugh said, hey, I found out I can eat Jamaican beef patties with no issue. I don't like them much, but hey, I'm just filling the hole. Hey, at least you can eat something that's better than what it was not too long ago. That's awesome. Unicorn Mullet says, got it. Layla says, hi. Maria said, hi, guys, look at me. I'm eating a salad. Jane said, Hugh, you need some choppers? No, he had a problem with his throat. He had to have, didn't you have surgery or something? Hugh said, woo. Hugh said, Layla, scrub, so he loves America? Okay. I don't know exactly how you say all that name. SRBCRO said he loves America. Thank you. We love you too. You said hello. Shadow Band said never ever trust a MAGA. Nerf says hi. Maria says I said something you don't believe it. When? Oh, not me. I always believe you. You said it's my throat. You said that long word. I know that Jane will understand it. Jane said hit the like button, trolls. Yes. Y'all won't believe how many thumbs up we got for all y'all that love to make me say it.
Oh. Say it.
Let's see. Yeah. Guess what, everybody? We got 6, 7 thumbs up. Let's see. You said they tried stretching it but didn't help. Jeff said, whoop. Anything, I don't care, said this is a recruit office. Nope. Well, yeah, it is. We're recruiting for this YouTube channel. Jane said, "Oh boy, Hugh, so sorry." Hugh said, "In the me." Hugh said, "Lord." Maria says, "No, you don't." Hugh says, "No worries. Don't try it." John said, "God bless everyone." Boggy says, I gotta go. Have fun. See you, Boggy. Thanks for stopping in. Well, also it's 8. John Deere said, bye-bye, 8. I'll see you on Xbox Joe. Jane said, bye, Boggy. Maria said, you didn't believe me when I said you have long hair, because I know I ain't got long hair. Anything says I'm joining the colony. Awesome. Thank you. We appreciate everybody that comes in. Hugh said, I miss my long hair. Just didn't like all the work. Jane says, we can be recruiters. That's right. Hugh said, don't miss it. Jane said, Hugh, you had long hair?
No, he's just saying it.
21 people, 68 thumbs up. That is awesome, everybody. I do appreciate everything.
Like, we almost have the same amount of likes as the 25,000 views by.
Yeah, I know, right? Let's see. Jane said 68, Pops. Yeah, ain't that cool? Hugh says I had wavy hair down to my mid-back. Maria said my dad gets so angry when I wear his socks. So that's why I make sure I wear his socks always.
Exactly.
There's somebody in here that steals my damn socks and it pisses me off because I can never find them when I got them. You said long ago, LOL. I like pinto beans. Says, why does my pee smell like rubber? My question is, why are you smelling your pee? Maria said, they're so comfy. Jane said, Lord, you do it, Maria. Are his socks warmer? Nope, she's just trying to aggravate somebody. Hugh said, had a dangling crossed earring too. It was an Arsenal metal era. Let's see. Bow Plump's waving. I can't think of the name right now. I'm sorry. Thank you for stopping in and waving back at you. Maria said, Lord, my dad says the same thing. He says that I make his socks disappear. Well, this one does. He absolutely steals every damn sock. I think I got socks from here to Kingdom Come that he's took one and thrown away. I bought a pack the other day, and I will not let him get nowhere near them. Matter of fact, next time the man comes over, I'm going to order him a pack, so I ain't got to worry about him touching mine.
Who's? Me?
Yeah. Next time he comes over, I'm going to order you a pack. Hugh says, and the skull and crossbones. Jane says, I had hair to my waist a long time ago. Maria said, why dads have so many socks? Because his kids keep taking them and he's got to keep replenishing them. Andy says, brother, I have a question. What actually defines right from wrong? Babies aren't born without the instructions unless guided by their parents. You're exactly right. And that's a good question, but it's a little too deep in thought for me. I like Pinto Bean says, you hold your breath when you pee. Well, I don't get down and sniff it. Maria says, he said that I eat them. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. Hugh says, I love long wavy hair. I can twirl. I played in my wife's and my daughter's hair. Man, they get mad. Lotus said, hello, Lotus. Hugh said, I did it anyway. And said, better late than never. Hey, at least you stopped in. I appreciate it. Hugh said, my wife don't mind. Carlson Williams says, thank you for your service. I did not serve, but I do love the picture. Thank you for your comment, though. Lotus said, what's up, Hugh? Hugh said, hello, Lotus. Lotus said, hi, Maria. Hi, Jane. Jane said, hi, Lotus. Hugh said, me too, cuz got here a couple minutes ago. Maria said, Lord, he buy me dozen of them, but I still wear his. Jane said, hit the like, y'all. Yes, please. I know I have translated. Why is this not translated? Where I don't even see translate to English. There it is. It's not going to let it translate. I cannot read your name. I don't know what it is. Or it may not be translated. It may just be so small. But I can't read it, but it says, how are you doing? I'm doing great. Hope you are. The Sir Roman says, do you set to pee? Does it matter? But no. I like Pinto Bean says, I'm starting to think you're not a pee expert. No, don't think I investigate them. Jane said, you would love Maria's long curly hair? You said, how are you doing? I'm a freak of soft smell good wavy hair. So was Joe Biden.
Oh, whoa.
And Maria says, Jane, wait until I straighten it. It'll be more longer. The Sir Roman says, tell little buddy on the sofa to do some push-ups for us. Well, said hi. Hugh said, I used to get mad when my wife straightened her hair. Well, said, was good. Glory to the great American people. Like I said, I don't know your name, but wait, let me do something. I'm a little caught up. Let's go to the channel and see what we got here. Still nothing. I cannot.
I don't know why it's not translating.
Well, I don't know. I have no idea.
It does it for some of them.
Yeah. Anyway, I do not know what the name is, and I'm sorry, but I can't even do investigating and try to figure it out. But welcome looks like a lion's face. Hugh said, I like straight hair, but not straightened hair. Hugh said, I love wave curl hair and curly hair. Lotus said, is the subject of the day Maria's hair? Yes, all about Maria tonight. Hugh said, hair. Lotus said, without ever seeing Maria's hair? Yeah, some people said she could be a man. Lotus said, and hiding in Mama's basement. Maria said, Lotus. Jane says, I love long hair, wavy or straight. Memory said, blueberry pancakes and hash browns. Maria says, Jane did. Hugh says, different men like different things. Me is wavy hair. Maria said, she saw me. Jane said, hi, Memory. Lotus said, well, the rest of the group hasn't. Hugh said, well, hello, Memory. Maria says, it's about me. It's all about me. Hugh said, hit the like button, peeps. Yeah, we're showing 70 here. Thank y'all. Hugh said, hit the like button. I just read that. Jane said, Maria, you need to put your pic on the YouTube channel. Memory says, hi, y'all. Yeah, You never know. You might become famous here in America too. Lotus says, well, you go, girl. Maria said, no, Jane, I won't. Maybe I'll think about it in the future. Let's see. My name is a barrel rider, and I love the American people. Okay, I'll just call you Barrel Rider. Welcome. When don't know you, but we love you too. Jane said, hi, Barrel. Maria said, change the subject. Change the channel name into Maria's Never Done Project. I hear you. Hugh said, cool. Hello, Barrel Ruler Rider. Lotus says, it would be nice to have been chatting with you forever. Whenever nice to put a face to a name. Yeah. I try not to say nothing about it. It seems kind of weird, but it would be. It's nice to know that everybody in here and get to know everybody. But some people might think inappropriate things that a 56-year-old man's talking to a 18-year-old. But it's nothing like that. We're friends. Leon says, hi. Jane says, hello, Leo. Did I say Leon? I meant Leo. Sorry. Leo said, hi again. His record stuck. You said, hello, Leo. Leo said, hi. Jane said, Leo, stop. Maria said, it's my channel after all. Maria's laughing. Leo said, okay. MB, what's that?
My bad.
My bad. Oh, Leo said, my bad. Jane said, thank you. Jack says, hi. What you done? We did a set of tires today. Maria says, nobody talks about Randy here. Lotus said, Lord, nothing to talk about, Maria. BMCK said, America. Maria said, you see that everyone talk about Maria hair, but I'm the only one who talks about your hair. Jack says, go IRL. Maria says, don't cry, Randy. I'm so sad. I'm so sad. Hugh said, okay, listen on the TV, got to prep for work in the morning. It's fine, Hugh, I appreciate it. I'm probably going to call it quits here in just a minute. I just thought as long as people was talking, I was going to talk a little bit longer since Daryl changed his. Maria says, we love yours too. Jane said, Lowell, let's talk about Randy's hair. Short subject, very short. Jack says, do a challenge. You know, we have been thinking about it. Once we get to where we can do a little bit, we're going to try to do some type of a challenge here. We're hoping that Justin starts coming around more often and we can have a little bit more and the three of us do a challenge. Hugh's laughing, said Jane, and Maria said, I feel like I'm drunk today. I'm saying a lot of bullshit. DKF Showtime said, comments on Trump. We don't do politics. Jane said, Lord, why, Maria? No sleep. You said, Ohio is getting hit by 14 inches of snow. Lord. Maria said, yes, I haven't slept yet, and it's 4 a.m. Jack says, make that boy in the back do a backflip. I wish we could do one. It'd be cool. Jane said, you shh. Maria said, do a backflip. I can fight a bear, and I have got a video of me doing a backflip. Lotus said, yeah, mega snow coming tomorrow. Jane said, Jenks, he won't do a front flip. I ain't gonna do a flip at all. I'll be broke a hip. Y'all about saw me do a fall in the floor yesterday. Hugh said, my sister is in Cambridge and she texted me to check on us. Maria said, yes, Randy, beat the bear. I did. I took him bare-fisted. Maria said, we all saw him. Jake said, hey, chat, can you I like him. Jane said, Lotus, son, making sure my generator and snowblower are working. Oh, me. Hugh said, cool deal. Maria said, I said bye and good night 3 times, and I haven't left. Jack's chat 42. Maria says, take off your glasses. Now, why would I do that? Then I can't see shit. Oh, me. I'll leave them on so I can see. Let's see, Lotus, snowblower is good to generate. Snowblower is good to go. Generator, well, I'm banking on Honda's always start. Jane says, Lord, Maria, get some sleep. Yes, with that being said, I do appreciate it, everybody. I was hoping to get one more so that we could finish off the night at 70, but looks like I'm showing 70, but it's only going to give me 69. I was hoping for one more like, but let me catch up here. Let's see. Maria says, Jane, soon. Jack says, make the boy in the back talk, being emo. Maria said, I'll turn officially crazy if I don't. Lotus said, good night, all. Good night, everybody. Jane said, take care. Good night. If anybody before I sign off has one more like, I'd appreciate it. But anyway, y'all have a good day, good night whenever you're watching this. And remember, everybody, nothing wrong with 69, better than 42, says Lotus. Y'all have a good night whenever you're watching this. And y'all remember, keep it silly. And thank all of y'all. Good night.